Hi, I'm Denise. I'm here to do a quick overview of Lesson 3, September. So, September week 3 lessons. I'm going to go to learning modules and we're going to go through each grade from pre-K to middle school, starting with pre-K. So, pre-K lesson 3, here is our activities. We start with time for music as we always do. You can extend it by having kids make up their own verses. Warm up with Bobo. This Bobo is a silly Bobo. And you'll see Bobo in many variants all year long. And then keep the beat with Mrs. Gagne. Sing Wash Your Hands. That's always a good review for kids. Listen to 1 potato, 2 potato, 3 potato, 4, 5 potato, 6 potato, 7 potato more. 8 potato, 9 potato. Here comes number 10. Hot potato, do it all again. So skip the video if you're confident with just saying the poem with the kids. Just use the visual as a reminder. And same with this video. You don't have to show it if you know how to do it with the kids already. We're going to do Farmer Brown had 5 red apples. So print it out. And if you wish to extend the lesson a little bit and you've got extra time, have the kids color them. And then they put the 5 apples in front of them. And as Farmer Brown had 5 red apples hanging from a tree. So when it eats one apple goes behind their back. And then they have 4 apples left. So it's a good backwards counting activity for your pre-Ks. Letter M with Dana Hero. She tells a story. She introduces the character. And then we sing Morgan the Monkey. And the kids show how to do the Morgan the Monkey movements. Those were cute little masks that I found at a dollar store. And then we sing the Monkey Song by Susan Marcus. This is a very cute little action song that the kids truly love. Here's the movements if you need it. This one I would do with the video because I really like the recording of it. And then Shake It Together, another movement song. Those pre-Ks, up, down. So they stay engaged. They stay physically active. And then we close with Skinamarink. And this little group of pre-Ks were wonderful little singers and action demonstrators. That's pre-K for September week 3. Kindergarten, September week 3. And again, our activities are outlined here. We've edited this so that the numbers now match the activity numbers in the module. So we start with Welcome to School Echo. We warm up with Bobo. And this time we find ways to keep a beat with Vivaldi. Sorry, not with Vivaldi, with Handel. And then I've added this year. This wasn't in the lesson in previous years, but I really like this little chant. Zoom, zoom, zoom. My heart goes kaboom. Now, who stole the cookies from the cookie jar? BJ stole the cookies from the cookie jar. So I choose the first student in my circle. And then they say, who, me? And we answer, yes, you. And the child says, couldn't be. And then we all say, then who? And we go to the next person in the circle. And when we get around to the very end of it, Mrs. Gagne stole the cookies from the cookie jar. And I say, who, me? And they go, yes, you. And I rub my tummy and I go, possibly. In fact, I just ate 2 cookies. So I do like them. Echo the teacher. This is my speaking voice. And again, any of these activities that you know, just use the visual as a reminder. Don't play the video. Face-to-face instruction is always best with your little ones. But here they echo everything you say, and then we have poems. And in this interactive, if you've already done 1, 2, 3, 4 as an activity, skip to the next song and then make up actions for it. Sitting, I'm going to just make some up right now. Sitting in the classroom, chewing bubble gum. In walks a principal, out goes the gum. And so we would say it in different kinds of voices, maybe a speaking voice and a whisper voice. If you do use a singing voice, you have to make up a melody for it. Sitting in the classroom, chewing bubble gum. In walks the principal, out goes the gum. So just make it up. I've added Skateboard Rider to this lesson. This is a very fun movement song, and you will see me here with my 2 granddaughters demonstrating the movements for it. A Smile Goes a Long, Long Way was introduced last time, and we've always had fun actions to this. A smile goes a long, long way. A smile goes a long, long way. Hey, hey, hey. Starts with an S right here. And it's a mile to the other ear. A smile goes a long, long way. Cute little song. And then Walk to School is a good movement song. Kindergartens, you want them up, down, moving, not moving. And here's movements for Walk to School. Better still, make up your own movements for Walk to School. And Handy is a little movement song. And I've always found this one a little difficult to engage the kids. But if you do it with the story, it is so much fun. So the story reads, and then you sing. Andy, Andy, fine and dandy, all pop down. You sing the song as part of the story. And all kids like Toy Story. So this is something that might capture their imagination. And then we have an activity where we prepare to read So and Me with Andy Pandy. Sing and show how the notes go higher and lower. I have to go back to that little pencil because he's really cute. They sing and the pencil, see how he moves. And that's what I want the kids to show. I want them to show with their arms how the notes go higher and lower. And then we trace the notes. And Andy Pandy, let's see, I have to press play. That's what I'm not doing wrong. So it shows the melodic contour. If you have your own way of teaching So and Me, by all means use it. But this is a good little interactive for kids. And then they can Andy Pandy, fine and dandy, all pop down. And they can show in approximated notation how the song goes. And we end with Skin and Rig. Great lesson for kindergarten. I hope you enjoy it. Here is the grade 1 lesson for September week 3. Again, our activities are now following the order of the learning module. The I can statements, I'm trying to find 3 I can statements each week that really reference what we're doing in this lesson. We start with welcome to music, welcome to music. When you're really tired of it, don't you lead it anymore. Have the kids lead it. And again, if you're comfortable doing that without the video, do without video. Echo Bobo, if you have your own Bobo in the class, just use this as a reminder to do vocal warm-ups with Bobo. Move to the beat, and again, you could turn screen off, put on any piece of music that the kids like, and move to the beat. I have done this, I can't remember what music I used for this one. Can you move to the beat? Copy what I do. This is a nice gentle piece, but you can do any kinds of music. Randall Duke of York is a tempo song. We do it slow, medium, fast. And the whole idea of this is to define the terms, slow, medium, fast. Eventually in grade 2, we will learn those as adagio, moderato, allegro. Here's the fast, slow game. That's a cute little game in the games section. Find classroom instruments and play along with apples and bananas. And then we have the grade 1's doing the counting song. Again, we know this. 1, 2, tie my shoe. 3, 4, shut the door. It's here because it is a simple little counting song. Here's a class demonstrating the actions, but I'm sure you don't need this. And then we watch how the notes go higher and lower. So much like kindergartens, have them show with their arms how the notes go higher and lower. This one will go on and do both the lyrics and then it'll do the solfa. So if you haven't labeled So and Me yet, you might want to skip the end of it till you have, or you use it as an introduction to So and Me. Here is a pointing page for them, again, showing how the notes go higher and lower. And then we've added in the game song, Going to Kentucky. It's a really fun game song. I put it at the end of the lesson because sometimes it's fun if the kids have had a really good class. We end with the game, send them to the door, and off they go. So here's a demo of the singing game. And one person in the middle is the senorita. If they choose to, they can be called a senor instead. And then we talk about the hat on their hair. I used to have a big Mexican sombrero that I had in my classroom. And the kids liked to wear that when they were in the middle. Although when there was head lice outbreaks, we did not use that hat. And then the music time is over. That is the grade 1 lesson for September week 3. Here is grade 2 for September week 3. And I have Echoes for Welcome to Music in grade 2. Poor Little Bug on the Wall. I believe this is at this point a review. I think it was introduced last week. One thing that I have found that was really fun to do with is there's a rest at the end of the phrase. Poor little bug on the wall. And I had a class set of fly swatters, and we used fly swatters as instruments at the end of the phrase. Then we do I can sing a high note to review high and low and middle sounds. Hopefully that is review for grade 2s. And this class shows how you can sing and move to the song. And then we play the high-low game. Hopefully this is very easy for your second graders. And then watch personages with long ears because it's a great example of high and low. And then you move with scarves to personages to show the high and low. Try mirror movement with Grov. Grov means very slow, and doing mirror movement is a really good way to engage the students. They listen, they stop and listen, and encourage them to listen and not giggle. And then you have them choose partners, and they lead the movement. Bounce High is a ball bouncing game, and it's best to do this with playground balls that are a little bit bigger or kick balls instead of tennis balls. Tennis balls are really hard for second graders to handle. Here's the note highlights for it. If you follow it and you show how the notes go higher and lower with arms, bounce, high, bounce, low, it becomes a really good opportunity to review. So, la, so, mi. And here's a video of myself doing it with the students. First time I bounce it to each student, and then we show in this video how the students can do it to each other, which is the goal. 1 sound or 2, this is some of the rhythm activities. Bounce high, bounce low, bounce the ball to Mexa. And if I do it wrong, it won't let me. I have to do it correctly. These are part of the whole suite of beat and rhythm activities. And then the music time is over. If you have extra time, you could do more of these. In fact, if you go to the song using the little arrow key, you'll find that there are also worksheets that go with the interactive activities. So that's grade 2, lesson 3 for September week 3. Now I'm going to go over grade 3, lesson 3 for September week 3. This is now a review song. I like singing with the kazoos. Play Poison Melody. This is a great way to review. La, so, mi. And then teach or review Plainsies Clapsies, which uses la, so, mi. So it's a great way to review in preparation for reading the song. They should be able to read the rhythms, and if you've taught solfege, they should be able to sing the solfa notes. Here's the kids' demo, and hopefully your kids remember it from last week. This is a traditional ball bouncing game, way easier to do it with beanbags. Name the solfa notes. And then we have Poison Rhythm with whole and half note rhythms, and that's in preparation for Rocky Mountain, which has half notes in it. So teach it as a reading song, for sure, for the rhythms, and possibly a solfa reading song if your students are able to do that. If not, teach the melody by rote. Then sing the song with the lyrics. Now this is a class that's created movement for Rocky Mountain. You'll notice they're the same kids that did Plainsies Clapsies. And this was the movement ideas they had. See if your students can come up with their own ideas for singing and moving to the song. Create a different movement for each verse of the song. Here's a rhythm play along with entry of the gladiators. And this is one that specifies which instruments to play. And then you can try a cup game with entry of the gladiators if you wish to. I would say that is an optional. This is fun. We've added it this year. It wasn't in last year's lesson 3. And this is the No Robbers game. It is a great reading song because it uses Just So and Me, but the game is so much fun that the kids really like this. So teach it hopefully as a reading song. And if your kids aren't able to read this, then teach it by rote. And here's the game directions for the No Robbers game. Much easier to understand when you actually watch the video. This one is very helpful. And that's the end of the lesson for 3rd grade, September week 3. Here is grade 4, September week 3. And in this one, we are going to practice some note values and learn some body percussion with various note values, and review Chester. So this may be a review if you taught it last week. This again is a tempo song. Chester, have you heard about Harry? Just got back from the army. I hear he knows how to wear a rose. Hip, hip, hooray for the army. And then it goes faster and faster and faster, and it gets more challenging to do. Here's the kids doing the actions with me. And then we're going to, this may have been taught last week, so it's either a teach or review. Good morning. And again, this hopefully for fourth grade is a reading song. For sure, my grade fours could read the rhythms, maybe the solfa, maybe they're teaching pitch letter names. Here's the kids' demo for good morning. This one involves a little bit more complex movement. Sometimes I simplify it a little bit for the kids. Here's an optional, teach old Joe Clark. This one you might be able to do the solfa, do, 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 so fa, mi. Probably not at this point in grade 4. So probably teach it by rote, round and round, old Joe Clark, round and round I say. But it's a great little song. And here's a movement demo that you can do. And the directions are here. But again, the directions in conjunction with actually seeing the kids' demo is very helpful. Read rhythms at different tempos, play the rhythm racing game. And here's an activity. If you are able to, make note values either with pipe cleaners or go outside and draw them with sidewalk chalk. September is typically a nice month in most parts of Canada, and this is a good activity to do. But if you have to do it inside, do it in whatever way you can. You could give them whiteboards and whiteboard pens to draw the note values. You could give them pipe cleaners to physically make them. Artie Almeida, I don't remember which book, has a really good note man activity. So that's grade 4, September week 3. 5th grade, September week 3. We're going to do the vocal warm-up with Boom Chicka Boom. If you know this, skip the video and just go ahead and teach it. The rhythm racing game and the coconut chaos game are fun, and they're just there to review rhythm reading, review note values. Now, Ickle Ockle is a very fun game song, and it's a very simple reading song. So this should be within the realm of possibility for your 5th grade using either solfa or absolute pitch letter names. So G, G, A, A, G, E, E. It's actually easily playable on the recorder even. And here's how you play the singing game. I choose one child to be the fish in the middle, another child to be the fisherman on the outside. It doesn't really make sense, but I usually choose from my right the 2 kids that are going to race. And again, watch the video. It makes a whole lot more sense than my written or verbal directions. Here's a note naming challenge for them. Optional, teach the ORF arrangement. This would be a great one to have the kids sing the song as a theme and then improvise on the instruments as variations. I might have the soprano, xylophone, and metallophone improvise the first time. The second time, maybe the triangle gets to improvise. The third time, the bass xylophone and bass metallophone get to improvise. So it could be a fun improv activity. Read the lyrics of the song When I Believe in Me and talk about what it means. It's really important for kids to believe in themselves. This song teaches a good message, and you can teach it by rote. This would not be a reading song. You do have the tracks here. So if you're not comfortable singing it yourself to the students, use the track. Just play and pause at the end of a phrase. This is a lovely performance of When I Believe by an elementary school in Australia. They had raised a lot of money for a project, and they did this to open the project that they had raised money for. And here's the whole song. They can try both parts or they can try just part 1. We have a video to learn about the string family, a play along with Autumn by Vivaldi. You know what? That doesn't look like it's working, and it could just be where I am because I'm in an airport lounge right now, but I will double check to make sure that those videos work. So that is the end of the grade 5 lesson for September week 3. So I'm just going to tell you what's in the middle school lesson. It's Mango Walk, which is a great ORF arrangement by Judy Sills. It's a great reading song and lots of opportunities to create ostinato, or to have kids melodically improvise, as I suggested that they do for Ickle Awful. So with middle school, what I've added in is jump grid. And jump grid is this. You tape out a grid on the floor.
5, 6, 7, 8, forward, side.
See if I can get
side,
full screen.
Other side, forward, side, other side, forward.
So you tape out a grid on the floor, and this teacher did it with painter's tape, and you start students at either end of the grid on opposite sides. So on this end of the grid, the student started on the right. At the other end of the grid, the student started on the left. So they were on opposite sides. And they jump forward, right, right, left, left. Then the next pattern starts forward, and a new student enters the grid. So eventually you have this grid full of kids, which makes it really fun. And so if they go the wrong way, they're going to bump into each other. So it's tricky. It's tricky enough that grade 5s will be challenged by it. Grade 6s will find it challenging enough too. So this grid jump is new in middle school lesson 3. And a wonderful teacher in Nebraska, Kristen Luco, she did her grid with these hoops. But if you don't have these hoops, don't worry. You can do the grid with the painter's tape the way the first teacher showed. And they jumped to the song Sky Full of Stars, which we have on Musicplay Online. And
get ready.
This is the Musicplay recording.
5, 6, 7, 8. Front, right, left, front, right.
So she used the
right,
words left, front instead of
right,
forward, but her
right,
kids are just as
left.
successful.
Good job, front.
I can't believe how light they are on their feet. So that is the middle school lesson for September week 3. I'm Denise Gagne. Thanks for sharing this time with me.